And we are live. Lou, Logie, we just spoke about 2 hours ago, and we're back. And a lot of news has dropped in the past 2 hours, or a lot of things have happened, it seems like. And I'm excited to dive into it today. What is going on? What have you been up to for the last 2 hours?
What have I been up to for the last 2 hours? It was a quick 2 hours, but it's been an eventful 2 hours. I think you guys were talking about Merge / Mass, Marat Pak, and Nifty Gateway drop that has been absurd. So I did a little purchase. Otherwise, I've been preparing for this stream, trying to read, edit, talk NFTs. What else am I doing every other hour of every day?
Lou, you chose not to purchase?
Yeah, I don't really love Nifty Gateway, and it's also already at 125,000 copies of it. And I don't know, I didn't do the pages that he had in the past either. But I think mostly if it wasn't on Nifty Gateway, maybe I'd be more interested. But I don't have anything on there, and then you have to set up an account, and then you have to keep stuff in that account. So for me, I passed on that one.
Makes sense. And Logie, what went into the decision to purchase for you?
Yeah. So I actually have not participated in any of PAC's other stuff. A few reasons I chose to participate in this one. It is $299 $299 per, which can you find a cheaper NFT on Ethereum? Probably not. I wouldn't expect. And then you double down on the fact that it's one of, if not the most, like I could see arguments for PAC being the most sought after and or most important or impactful or influential. I don't know, like insert whatever adjective you'd like there. NFT artists and artists in general, right? Like, so PAC is the Archilect, I don't know how you say it, right? But that's his Twitter, right? That's where he like blew everything up. You know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Archilect?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, somebody's got to know what I'm talking about.
Archick?
No, not Archick. I'll find it. Anyway, my whole thought process, Danny, was like $299, access to PAC. I know I totally understand, Lou, your thoughts on like, it's a massive collection, like massive collection, right? Like 170,000 purchases. Is that what somebody said? What's it say now?
We're currently at 200,000 purchases.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like the price increases, by the way. So I think it goes up another, another $200 or something every 6 hours. I got mine for $299. I just feel like, this is one of those plays where, Lou, you were mentioning the other day with like CloneX, right? Where, you mint something and like you're playing the lottery and like your chances of pulling a rare are maybe very, very low. But if you do, it's something super, super valuable. I'm not playing that quite the same. Like my expectation here is that maybe I 2x, maybe I 3x, whatever max. But I think my chances of doing so are like pretty good. You know what I mean? And so I think you can make the argument that it doesn't make sense to participate when the collection size is this large. But I feel pretty confident in something like this performing quite well. It gives me exposure to PAC. It's a deflationary like in nature, and you can earn potentially Ash, which is his like kind of utility token. And I just want to be attached in some way, that's about it. There's a lot of like little variables in there. Nothing super great. I don't feel like overly convicted. Again, not financial advice. I'm not asking anybody to go do this, but if you were looking for a way to get in cheaply, seems ridiculous to say that, right? But to get in cheaply, you could do a whole lot worse. Like, Lou, would you agree though? Like if your decision was if you had $400 and your decision was buying this versus buying some random ass little baby NFT, you would buy this instead?
I think that's a little harder of a question. Maybe I didn't realize that the price went up like that. I think that makes, in a sense, like your buy at $299 that much better, because I think when they go up in price like this, a lot of people's entry points are going to be $400, so that somewhat increases the floor. and the $25 for every 6 hours. But what was the deflationary aspect of it? I didn't realize it was deflationary, because I think when it's that high of a count, just the fact that it won't, end game wise be over 200,000. Is there a burning aspect to it?
So, Danny, if you scroll up on this page, I think it describes it in detail here because I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, so scroll up just a little bit more. Okay, that is the top. All right, so scroll down there. Oh no, yep, it is up here. So there's a take here. If you read through this, or you can go to Nifty Gateway /collection/pack merge. Anyway, that's the screen Danny's looking at. So what happens is you can acquire as many as mass units as you desire, and then you get a dynamic NFT with your accumulated mass. So it kind of like merges to get, that's the merge, right? Merges together all the mass that you buy into what I believe becomes kind of one token. So you see there that M100 plus M20 equals M120 type thing. I'm not entirely sure how it works. This is like sort of the, yeah, this is sort of the allure math. The allure of like pack in general, though, is like nobody has any clue what the hell is going on with pack related stuff. But like the cryptic
do you
nature
know
is
what the math on chain NFTs are? They're like the first on chain.
I know what you're
NFTs
talking about. Was that an 8 Alex thing?
Yeah. Alxo, I think, is part of that. And basically, like what you're just showing, if you had the token that was the number 100 and you have the token that's 120, you add them together and then you create the token 120. And then the way that one worked, though, is if someone uses your token to add, you get like part of the fee. So because I saw on that page that you're just showing for pack, there's a leaderboard. So I think that'll motivate people to continue to add to it. So that's kind of interesting.
Where's the leaderboard aspect of it?
I don't know that it's
this bottom part. So I'm assuming they give some sort of giveaways based off
for
of
those
having more
hidden leaderboard. Leaderboard.
They don't tell you if you're in lead. That's even better.
And you saw what Pranksy put 600,000 to this? Is that right?
Yeah, well, Pranksy's 600,000 is like my $600. So, Pranksy is massively leveraged on pack as well. Like the pages, right, that you were talking about, Lou. I know Pranksy's pretty heavy there. To me, this is Danny, you talk about betting on people, you talk about betting on brands. Like this is one of the biggest and best ones that you could bet on in this space. Yep. And if you're a new collector, you're betting on it for $2.99. Now there are a lot of there's a weird intricacies and game theory and like mechanics to all of this that don't necessarily make it a slam dunk investment. Of course, nothing is, right? But if you are making bets and you're playing probabilities here, personally, again, being someone who's maybe a little bit more risk averse, I'm putting my $400 to work for pack versus $400 to work for Lil Baby Ape Club 56.
It's crazy to me on goals, screenshot that Pranksy's like, oh yeah, I turned some ENS, 10,000 ENS for $600,000. Some of my ENS. How much do you think Pranksy has in ENS? Over 50K?
You can look it up.
You probably
Is it available?
Yeah.
You probably could. Yeah.
Yeah, go to Etherscan, Danny. Etherscan.io. Yeah, and then type in Pranksy.eth.
Oh yeah, that probably.
And it's gonna give you his resolver and stuff right there. Go ahead, click that. And
this
then
is a good lesson for.
Click the little drop down where it says token. Up right there.
Yeah.
See how many ENS are still in there.
97.
97 more in just that address.
This is just one address. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can figure this out for everybody. So we can go to DannyMiranda.eth and tell you how many ENS you have. You can't hide anything, Danny. Not on the blockchain, my friend. And this is why in our Thanksgiving guide, right, talking about NFTs with your family, like money laundering thing is the most like asinine, ridiculous thing. Now, of course, you can still launder money because there's whatever. It's not all about total transparency, but it's so much harder to do when you can see every single thing everybody does and where it goes. Like it's absurd, but it's a funny thing that like people still cling to regardless.
Yeah. So the mass, right? Like where do you think this goes? Do you think he sells 1 million in the next 36 hours?
No,
Or
1 million
40
pieces.
I mean, like
saying like $1 million, like turning 600K into 1 million.
no, I'm
he's
saying
already
1 million
sold many
pieces.
millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, he's up
Oh,
to
you're saying final count.
1 million
of
pieces, 1 million
pieces
NFTs.
sold.
I thought you were asking how much you think Prinksy was making.
No.
I don't think he gets to 1 million. Here's my take. Most of your action just took place.
Yeah.
I guess is in the pre-sale where you have existing holders of pack, right? People that have notable amounts of money. You know, you have your pranksies who are buying a bajillion of them at one time.
And the price is going up.
And the price is going up. He's not going to get to 1 million.
So the count is going up and the price is going up. It's hard for me to think like I don't want to say like normies, but even people like in our group of like people that buy into these things, I think a lot of people are just going to see that count and the fact that the price is going up and pass. So how are they going to get more people with this price going up?
Well, look at Ryan Hodge. Ryan Hodge is having the opposite reaction. More people having it means he needs to be involved in it too, right? So it's an interesting.
Maybe he didn't say
that's
that.
Imagine not having a pack. Is it pack or POC? How do you?
I don't know.
That's it.
I say pack, I think, but I don't know. Marat. It's probably POC, but
what's his story? We got to go deep into his story.
Archulect. Look at Twitter.
What that is.
Go to Twitter.
Is
twitter.com/RAR chill CHILLECT. You've seen this before. 2.7 million followers. Maybe bigger on Instagram, but it's the same handle. I'm like almost positive this is pack. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is one of the most notable. Isn't this pack, or am I making this up now?
It might be spelled something different. I don't know.
Spell it again.
AR.
It's not the Twitter account.
ARCHILLECT.
ECT. Okay.
I mean, you guys have definitely seen this before. Somebody needs to let me know if I'm making this up.
No, you're not. I got it.
Crypto artist. Yeah, he has invented a digital archive managed by an algorithm called Archulect. It's him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you've seen this before, though, right? Like you've definitely seen this.
I have not.
I'm not. I know. It's just
but
like
2.7 million people have.
It's like photography art.
Well, it's managed, I believe, by, if I'm reading this correctly, it's managed by an algorithm. Turkish designer, graphic designer, and artist asked himself before inventing Archulect. Digital artist chosen. Blah, 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 blah. Archulect, archive plus intellect. That's what it stands for. Most famous invention dating back to 2014. Algorithm capable of choosing and publishing suggestive images according to the aesthetic canons of the followers who follow it on the main social media. That's insane. This dude is the most incredible, I think, pusher of, like, we talk about not wanting profile picture projects, right? Like, let's see something new. For, you know, whether you participate or not in this drop by Pack, he has to be the most courageous innovator in the space, right? Like, for sure. Like, who is doing the crazy shit that he's doing? No one else. And whether, you know, call it good or bad, and performance of the project good or bad, I don't think he doesn't care. One, and collectors like maybe shouldn't care, as hard as that is to separate from, you know, your wallet from this performance of the project. But like, participating in this is like pretty cool. Like, he's doing stuff that is no one else is doing.
That's for sure. And the new aspect of it is exciting. And I'm I'm excited to see where this is going to lead. Like, what is it actually? What are you going to get? You got one, and so
I
you
bought
got
two. Yeah, I
so
bought
you can
two
merge them.
for $6. I don't even know why I was allowed in the pre-sale. I wonder if that was like a little bit of a bug that I got like super lucky on or something. But I did get mine for $299, even though I saw that said it should have been $400 at $630. Regardless, I bought two. And so at the end, my mass purchase is complete. I did get them. There was a UI error. I did pay $800. Anyway, I bought two. At the end of the 2 days, they will like merge together, and I get it dropped to my account. And I also get bonus mass. Bonus mass will be applied to total acquired mass at the end of the purchase period. Your merge token will be minted on 12/6. Thank you for being a part of this collection. I'm a real badass.
I'm excited to see how it plays out for you and how this collection plays out, because I have a feeling that this is just the beginning of what's the story that they're about to tell.
Yeah. I mean, Danny, I'm not, it sounds like maybe you're not too familiar with like PAC's other NFT works, and that's okay because it's impossible to follow. Like the work is really crazy. Like Lou, are you in PAC's Discord by chance?
No,
it's like
I didn't end up doing those poets.
Yeah, there's like 3 channels in the Discord, and it's like lorem ipsum and then whatever the third word is and that stuff. And it's just like it feels like total nonsense. And the really cool part is, you know, that movie like A Beautiful Mind. It like feels like PAC is whatever is his name. What's his name? Something Nash, right?
Like he's just extremely smart and things are going through in his head, and you just kind of believe whatever he does.
So,
like
just the stuff he's doing is just like he has a plan for all this.
Definitely innovative.
He already does. It's pretty cool.
I didn't like how the poets came out.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well,
did you buy them?
No, I did not. I have not participated on anything PAC related. I actually wanted to buy the non-fungible stuff from earlier this year on Nifty, and I didn't buy it.
The other thing, were these auto-generated as well? Like
they've got to be.
Yeah, because some of them got a little weird. But
these are Deep Black-esque. Have you seen?
Were
Deep
these
Black
the
stuff?
ones that Ash token that you were talking about? You like bought them with the Ash token, but you had to buy the Ash token, right? Like he was one of the first that had this like token to buy things idea.
Yeah, it's like his token, and it is like, you know, cross collection. Danny, I'll drop it in the chat so you can pull it up here. Oh shoot, I didn't drop the right thing in, so don't click that.
He made it like
it's
complicated.
Oh my gosh,
right?
It's going nuts. Also, by the way,
I looked at
this. Yeah, I looked at this.
Yeah,
literally, I looked at this an hour ago. Before I bought. That's what? No, maybe 2 hours ago. $535. I remember looking at this around $36, like literally an hour and a half ago, and now it's at what, like 47 or something? Is that what it was? $47?
$45.
Yeah. Who knows what the hell he's gonna do? But I just love. I love that he's pushing boundaries. I think that's awesome. We are all clamoring for it. Like so many people, right, in this space are like, no more profile pictures. It's boring as shit. Like whatever. And then everybody gets mad when people try to do new stuff that's like complex and doesn't make sense. And I understand the like, you know, I understand the hesitation at things that don't necessarily make sense, but you can't complain about both sides of people trying stuff here. So I'm totally on board. Of course, full disclaimer, I'm now a holder of 2 of these. Paid more than I thought I did thanks to the UI error. But
and just to be clear, the Ash coin was created by PAC somewhere around August 20th.
Yeah. So I think what happened was you bought Pages, right, Lou? So they're like, he dropped this collection called Pages. You bought Pages, and then you could burn the Pages for the Ash token, right? That would make sense. Pages burn, you get Ash. And then the Ash could be used to buy poets or something like that. Or maybe you could trade your Pages for poets instead. I don't know. There's a little bit of complexity there. Of course. I don't know it because I've not been intimately following it. Sort of know. Maybe somebody in the chat can let me know like all the terrible things I just messed up. But I just like that he's trying stuff. He's pushing buttons. And here's the other thing I'll say, Lou. You mentioned earlier some distaste with Nifty Gateway. I think that's totally warranted. They were one of the first sites that, like, I remember asking in January, like, are you guys really going to drop shit every single night? Every single night, drop stuff?
And they sold
and
out
there was
every night.
Yeah, and they did. They sold out every night. And there was a period of time where, like, I was buying and then instantly you could flip it the next day for thousands of dollars more. It was stupid, like totally stupid. And they have been definitely active in the oversupply of stuff, right? For sure. So there is totally a good reason to maybe have some distrust and distaste with, like, Nifty, but there have been ample opportunities to participate on Nifty for the last year plus that could get you access to, like, you could have bought an X copy drop for like $500 on Nifty. And that was another one that I just watched come and go because of my distaste. So all I'll say is, like, totally, definitely good reasons and okay to have some distaste for those types of things. And the, you know, the platform as a whole, but they're still drawing super notable artists. I bought many Ferocious things on there. That's where Artifact really basically started, right? On Nifty as well. We just had the Clone X drop this week. At least keep your eye to the ground about what's dropping. You can buy with credit card, right? You don't have to have an Ethereum wallet. You don't, like, there are ways in here for people that maybe are brand new or maybe a little nervous or whatever, ways to good projects, good artists, that, you know, you might not get for the same type of price. Don't expect the 1,700 million X% overnight. Of course not, but still.
Yeah. And what I like about this one is you could purchase by credit card, right? Is that correct? And a lot of people might not like that, but I think it's great because it merges the worlds of people who might
credit card
be
rewards
supporters.
points, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm doing. I bought with my credit card.
There you go. And when do you have it in your OpenSea wallet now, or
no?
Is that going to happen?
Yeah, this is a little bit unique here. So Nifty Gateway was actually owned by Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. The Winklevoss twins, that's Gemini and Nifty. They own both.
Winklevi, sure, yes. So basically what happens is, like, just like other custodial marketplaces and exchanges, Danny, like centralized ones, they have like a Nifty wallet for you that this thing sits in. It still sits on the Ethereum blockchain, but basically, like, they have smart contracted wallets that, you know, your thing is sitting in. And what you have to do is basically transfer it from that wallet into your MetaMask or some other self-custodied wallet to put it on OpenSea. So that is a little bit scary, but, like, if you go to an OpenSea page and you see transferred in from Nifty Gateway Omnibus, like, that's something you'll see. That basically means that, like, it was routed through the smart contracting platform at Nifty Gateway to this, you know, right, to this particular wallet. So there are pros and cons, of course. Like, they basically control your NFT, sort of. I don't want to scare people there, but that's a way that you could think about it. Yeah,
it's like escrow.
Yeah, I mean, more or less.
Like the other ones.
Yeah, kind of.
And will you be transferring yours to your OpenSea wallet?
We'll see what happens. Again, this is a unique one because, like, I don't know what Pac has planned. He's worked very closely with Nifty Gateway and a handful of drops. So, like, the mechanisms at play here may be accessible right on Nifty Gateway. But other things previously, like when I bought the FIWO shoes with Artifact, I bought them on Nifty Gateway, and I had to transfer them out so that I could forge them to get the physical shoe on Artifact. So I'm totally at like the mercy of Pac and Nifty here to see what they want to do with this particular, you know, project and the mechanics here. But otherwise, I'm actually like, I'll probably just leave it on Nifty. You know what I mean? I feel weird. I don't have a super strong
Probably depends
stance
on what the game is.
Yeah,
like if you do that all on Nifty, or if there's another site, and you know, that sort of thing.
I'm not like, this is just something like naturally for myself. I'm not one of these like decentralization maxi type people. You know what I mean? That like, I don't have a problem with some centralization. I think it's going to be necessary for mainstream adoption. I think it's going to be necessary for getting more people in, and more people in is better for everyone. And so I'm not opposed to good actors helping bring more people to the space. I think it's going to be, you know, some sort of mix of decentralization and centralization that ultimately like wins it out for everything. And so you'll have the optionality, you'll have the choice to actively let someone else custody your stuff. Many people will want that. Many people will want other people to hold the stuff for them. I think actually, like, did you listen to the last Naval with Tim Ferriss and Chris Dixon, the Web3 one? Like, I think even Naval says in there that like he can't hold his coins. You know what I mean? Like he can't possibly do it. And it's not because he doesn't want to or he can't, but like he's too notable, right? He needs somebody to actually custody it for him. That's one of the things about self-custody is like, I'm a nobody, right? Like, so I'm not particularly concerned, but that is a very
You're Logie.
And I'm Logie.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're not a nobody.
What do you mean nobody?
But you know what I mean? Like that's actually another potential concern when you're a self-custody. And that's hopefully something that people don't really actively need to worry about. So I don't want anybody to be fearful, but I think it's going to be a little bit of both. And so I'm comfortable with Nifty holding my NFT.
Lou, what about you? Does it bother you at all that Nifty would be holding your NFT if you wish to participate? I mean, clearly it did come into your brain because you like to keep everything on one platform. But what's your thought process along what Logie was just talking about?
Yeah, I think that's a part of like what we want with the blockchain is the decentralization. But I also think it's more broad than that. Kind of what he's saying is like centralization is not the worst when it's coming from the product that you're already buying into. Centralization is worse when it's like the government that's controlling it. Like I feel like you have a little more control because you're choosing, but like you're choosing to buy into that. Like he chose to buy in knowing that that's part of the platform he bought into. Like Top Shot, like going in that they are deciding a lot of the things in house, and so I think that's more of where I'm okay with the centralization in it, versus like the whole thing. Like that happened with the Wolf game where they basically centralized it and they stopped people. But I think at times it's necessary to, and they need to control things to fix it or just cover themselves up if they need be.
Yeah. I think the transparency is key. Yeah. I mean, purely decentralized stuff is transparent in itself and open source, and you typically don't really have to worry about that, except for, as Lou mentioned, in the case of like a game, right? So like we can see everything that's happening, and that's transparent, but we're still at their mercy for like, what does the patch look like, or whatever the case may be. I think one of the troubles was, and we should move on. I saw the question about Ziggurat, so we should maybe move to that. But one of the funny things there is like, despite people knowing that like Top Shot was in control, I don't think anybody could have ever like anticipated like Top Shot's not going to let you withdraw. Like things like that are still
there were
crazy,
still people buying into Top Shot knowing that was the case.
It's so insane. It's so insane that was ever the case.
When you go in and complain about something that if you, as we always say, do your own research, you'd be able to figure out, then that's still on you, I think.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So the Ziggurats, what's good with that, boys?
Mike Shinoda. Do you know Mike Shinoda?
Is that Linkin Park?
Apparently.
Let's pull up some tweets from the Ziggurats.
I don't know that I could name a single Linkin Park song, but I do know Mike Shinoda only because I've been following Mike Shinoda because NFTs. He's been in for a while. Yeah. Like he's been actively participating in the NFT ecosystem on Tezos for like a good while now. Actually, like, don't remember. I think we were on a call, like all three of us at 1 p.m. Eastern when this went live, right? There was a little bit of a hiccup. And I guess the question from James was, first time trying to mint, wanted to know if it was typical. And so unfortunately, I don't have all the details, but do know that there was a little bit of a hiccup. I'm not exactly sure what that hiccup was. Should say, though, it is not unlike projects to have issues when minting, especially if there's demand. This is a project that was like decently demanded for. And it's like, it's unfair to use the beta or like this is brand new technology thing over and over again. Lucky Trader's still in beta, by the way, so be kind. But I mean, it is like, it is like kind of brand new, and so things are unprecedented, and people don't know what to expect, and things break when you don't expect to break them, and so I would say, unfortunately, James, like the answer to your question is, it's not. I shouldn't say it's typical that these things happen. There are lots and lots of drops and mints that go by without issue, but it's definitely like not completely out of left field that this is something that would happen, that there would be a little bit of a hiccup, or that there'd be demand that would keep you from being able to mint a particular project. So
yeah, it's kind of weird that we're still here like 8 months later, and pretty much every drop has some sort of hiccup. Like, there's not that many clean drops anymore. They put out a time, and then you get 5 minutes before, and they push it back. They delay it. Like, it doesn't seem like there's many smooth drops.
Well, in terms of delays, like, oh my gosh, Lou's right. That's like every project. I think most projects, like the minting process is probably not that bad, but they're never on time. Never. And that's why, like, it wreaks so much havoc on our schedule page at luckytrader.com. Is like we try to like keep everybody up to date. Like, hey, this thing's coming. We talked about Clonex for like 4 weeks in a row because it kept getting delayed.
We'll talk about it next Monday too, because
we're gonna talk about it next
when the
Monday.
reveal is gonna be.
Yeah, so Danny, we should actually show. Actually, I know Bill told us to wait, but we should show on this page. So one of the things we're trying to do, upcoming drops. You go to past drops. If you see something that like you're curious about, maybe you just missed, but you want to look at what dropped today, go to past drops on the site. And then the last one, which we're still actively working through some technical hiccups and stuff to get to in like full, is the beta. Thank you for circling. Is project updates. So actually, like if you're curious about something that's dropping, an airdrop or a companion, or when is reveal happening, or this thing happening, we have this new tab called project updates that will allow you to stay updated on historical projects that had already dropped. So it's kind of like brand new. We're still like working on some things to make sure stuff gets out there. I wasn't even supposed to share it yet, but I just did.
And also check out this banner. How incredible is this banner over here? You click this, you could see our beautiful faces.
Our friend John Nanetti is in chat right now.
John the Goat. John the Goat.
Yeah.
I think the growth in NFTs community causes delays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. It's the growth of the entire ecosystem has led to demand, and the increased demand has caused a lot of issues. So one thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Adidas, because Adidas set their profile, at least Adidas Originals set their profile picture to a Bored Ape. And that's pretty exciting. What's your guys' initial takes on that?
I'm not sure how excited I am yet.
So as one of my co-hosts from Club MGMI would say, this has been known. Apparently, Bored Apes has been teasing a partnership with Adidas for like months. And now it's finally coming into the fold. So one thing you can do, and I'm not sure, like, so that's the ape that they used. You can go on to, I'm not sure if it's that adidas.com/metaverse, but you could go on a website and put one of the jumpsuits on your ape. And then you can like set it as that. So that's like one thing that they're doing as part of this. But yeah, I mean, another big brand partnering with Bored Apes. Like, you love to see it. Like, this is the apes are over 50 floor now. G Money is big on it. So the Punks comic is the other pair with Adidas on this deal. And they've been pumping a little bit too, as well as like the Meta Heroes. They went from, I don't know if they were under 3 ETH, but then they got all the way up to over 5 at 1.2. So, I mean, Adidas making a move into NFT space. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sad about it in any way.
And Coinbase. Did you see that at the end there?
No.
Oh yeah, got you guys.
Top right.
Yeah, I have this highlights tab right here.
Well, what is that thing? Is that like a plugin?
It's a plugin. I don't know what it exactly is called. I can get it for you guys, but when I go to someone's profile, it pulls up their most engaged with tweets. It's
Wow.
called Tweemex.
Tweemex.
A little bit of alpha for you guys.
Did you see this? Leaked in the Pixel Vault Founders DAO Discord 2 months ago that it was coming.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying is every time it comes up, I get told, "Oh, we already knew about that." It's like, yeah, but now people that didn't know about it are like, "Oh, Adidas," you know?
Yeah, the other thing that I think is good for this is we spend a lot of time talking about the demographics involved here, and I think in large part, like those who are most active in this community are probably actually closer to us in age. Like, for example, our Lucky Trader audience skews in like the 28 to 34 range. The Adidas,
quite specific there.
Yeah, sorry, we were just looking it up. But the Adidas like demographic has to be a little bit older than 34, right? Like Adidas is like feels like a cool New Balance to me. Am I wrong in saying that?
Find out.
Why are New Balance not cool?
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with New Balance, but like you think of New Balance as like dad shoe-ish, kind of, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this.
So you're saying dads aren't cool.
I'm not saying dads aren't cool. I'm saying
you're saying it's like a sporty shoe.
I think it's like an older brand, right? So it's like hopefully has like an older following, maybe bringing in new, like, I guess what I'm getting to is like if Adidas's largest demographic is 35 plus or whatever, right? If your Adidas demographic is 35 plus, then like, will those people be more inclined to say that this is legitimate if they're Adidas peeps? You know what I mean? That's all I'm
also what I'm curious about is, will Nike say I need to get involved in this? Will
Nike's already doing shit. Like weren't there like
Nike set their profile
things?
picture? I don't know.
So,
you tell me.
I think Nike would have to go punk, in my opinion. They'd have to.
So Nike
Can you
is
imagine
punk and Adidas
the feud?
They'd have to.
All right.
They?
So what are we saying? Coca-Cola is going to be punk, and then Pepsi's going to be Bored Apes. This honestly, I like that idea. Like these dueling partnerships. McDonald's already has to be a Bored Ape because of the hat that people have already made into it.
McDonald's is fast food fidenzas, man. Fast food baby apes or whatever. This, I don't know. So here's my take is like, that was sort of like my little thing for the demographic potentially being an exciting part for Adidas. But like, let's say like Procter and Gamble comes out and like, you know, attaches some sort of consumable to the metaverse. It makes no sense at all. Like it makes no sense for them to do that. But let's say they do. Budweiser, right? Like Budweiser, like the actual beer, like no young people are drinking like normal Budweiser, right?
Yeah, I heard the argument that Budweiser was a perfect brand because 95% of the space are males who likely drink beer, and a lot of them are right that, like older, not necessarily older, but like in a demographic
disposable
of
income
beer drinkers.
Yeah, and they have income.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. No, I think Budweiser I think they're perfect. But I guess I'm thinking about like brands that skew maybe just a little bit older above the brand, above the like people that are in right now.
Okay, here's that argument. Time Magazine kind of flopped because I think they're more of an older brand. Like,
I'm not even sure they're really a brand.
Oh, you're gonna go that far. I mean,
should we clip this?
When's the last time
Send us to Time
any
Magazine?
of us read like a physical magazine? You know,
no,
we're not
can't
reading
remember
physical magazines. So, yeah, I mean, I like the Adidas play.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
I do think it's good. I think it's good. I mean, like I'm in favor of any and all brands coming in. Like bring them all. They're all going to be here eventually. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm good with all of it. Just like I think some will do better than others, of course, right? Like I think World Series of Poker is like, as a brand, is like I don't think they're going to do that well. Not doing what they're doing. I think if World Series of Poker built some sort of like actual like cool metaverse casino-y type thing, or even like partnered with Decentraland to do something like that, like that's like know your clientele, right? Like that's where that makes sense. I don't think who the hell wants to collect the Chris Moneymaker NFT with no utility. Like, who is doing that? I don't know. Chris Moneymaker?
Do you think this is similar to judging brands based on their first iteration of their websites?
Yeah, I think that's an apt comparison to what we're doing now, which is completely unfair, of course, right? Is that what you're getting to? Is like you bastards are being like really unfair to these brands, but I don't know.
Not necessarily, because a brand that has a great website could be signaling to the world in 1995 that they're going to be forward thinking and that they're going to have a good website in 2000 and that in 2007 they'll have a pulse, right? So I think it's fair to judge some of these brands based on their first forays into the NFT world, but it's also fair to say it's okay if they're doing it poorly because they're doing it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. I just expect like some of these bigger brands that like, to come in and to do it well. One of the things like I'm expecting to see, like Lou, did you see Super Gremlin Cryptodes do that like little Budweiser can mock-up thing after with the noun glasses and stuff? Did you see that?
I did.
You did?
I think I saw it, yeah.
So I actually, for a period of time, thought maybe that was real. Later found out that that is not like actually in the collection. I think what would be really great is if one of these brands, like this, what if Budweiser came in and like embraced the memetic values and cultures that have spawned all these great things, whatever, call them great, call them not, like all these huge memes that have like, what if they did that? Like, what if Budweiser came in and freaking did a cool thing with Super Gremlin, right? And that's where maybe Adidas, right, is working with G Money, is working with Punk's comic. Like, sharp. That's smart. Like, why come in and do it alone and then be at the mercy or the ire of the entire community that you're just like, dude, you don't get it, right? That's our whole thing with like the cash grabs with celebrities, right? Lou was talking about earlier today. Change your freaking profile picture to a Bored Ape and then come Costco and Ferocious. Get out of here.
That's, some Kirkland NFTs.
Unfortunately, Ferocious Costco's great company. Ferocious is too valuable, my friend. Too valuable.
If you search Costco and Ferocious on Google rather.
So if I
showed up at once.
If I was to pair Ferocious with a boomer brand, this is
this is good. This is good. Pair an artist with a brand. I love this.
Yeah,
that could be a fun game.
It could be a fun game.
Let's play.
I'm not sure I'm adequately prepared because I don't want to misspeak for Ferocious, but like I maybe have like a better example here. Like, I don't have a better example.
Throw it out.
I don't know.
Throw your truth out there.
Yeah, I think if I was going to pair Ferocious with a boomer brand, I would want it to be something that was like...
He wouldn't be a boomer brand, though.
Well, that's the game, though. Is that you pair them... Oh, I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I think Ferocious would need to go with, like, something that...
like, fun.
Well, fun, but also, like, push the boundaries and also, like... just, I don't know. Colorful, good. Like, I'm not sure if that's, like... Ralph Lauren, is that like too, I don't know, is that too...
I was thinking like Harlem Globetrotters.
I like that. I like that.
Harlem Globetrotters, we call it,
because they're like fun, they just kind of do their own thing, people love them, but they're kind of boomer brand.
Maybe
Ralph Lauren, interesting.
Yeah, because also Ralph Lauren's like refined, right? And I think of Ferocious as like very professional, like very reputable person that has built like a really solid, like can't poke holes in me brand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny that you say that because I view him as just GM. So
wait, did I tell you that at the paint event I accidentally knocked the little megaphone on the ground?
I think you did. You want to tell that story?
Do you know the little megaphone that Ferocious yells into? The little toy megaphone? I was getting my coverall on at the Ferocious paint party at NFT NYC, and I reached for my gloves like a little quickly and didn't see in the sea of coveralls. I didn't see the little megaphone I accidentally knocked on the ground, and the batteries popped out. But I hurriedly put the batteries back in and put it back on the table. I don't even think anybody saw it, but I did knock it on the ground. I hope it's still functioning. If not, I owe Fewocious another. I mean, I'm not sure why it wouldn't be functioning. I just dropped it on the ground real quick, but
Should be good.
Can't even control your physical collectibles.
Lou, do you have a favorite artist or an artist and brand collab you would like to see?
It's specific to like this space.
Yeah,
in
specific to
general?
NFTs or in general.
Oh man.
I know it's kind of putting you on the spot here, so it's all good if nothing comes to mind initially, because we should really play a game of NFT artists and
Yeah.
really sit down like
Yeah,
a
maybe
draft almost.
we do that in like a future episode. That's kind of Betty Crocker and Food Mass. I mean,
The GOAT John says Betty
they
Crocker
should.
and Food Mess.
That's a really good one, actually, in like a weird way. I don't know. I don't really know if I have specifically like a favorite
Or
artist.
people too. Like, do you have any specific people you would like to pair together? Maybe it would help if I could give you some people to pair, like
No,
Deez,
sure.
for example. If Deez is going to partner
man.
with a well-known brand, what brand is he going to partner with? Friend of the podcast, Deez.
I feel like Deez would partner with like a movie brand. Like Deez would partner with like the Super Troopers, like those guys. I don't know if that's
Super
considered a
Troopers.
brand. Yeah, he always does this show, like his picture in the morning with like the joint and the GM. I feel like he would. I'm trying to think of who that would be like good with, like Snoop, him and Snoop. That would
like
be a
that.
good combo. Cosmo, however you
Yeah.
pronounce that one. Cosmo
like that.
Medici and Deez. They should partner. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I don't
What
know.
about you, Loki? You have no.
You don't know about that?
no
No, I think it's fine. I think it's a fine pairing. I was trying to think as you were saying that. I was a little worried about who you would potentially pair me with. But
Did you think of one?
no, I'm gonna refrain from labeling myself into
Who's your dream collab, Loki? Who's your dream collab?
Fiwo, of course.
No.
I've
not
already done it
person,
though.
brand.
I've already collabed with Fiwo. So
You have, but not person, brand.
oh,
Who would Logie? Who would NFT influencer, NFT
Oh, yeah.
champion, Logie Hitchcock? Who would he
Brand.
partner with?
That's a good question. I don't really know, man. I'm not really attached to
Okay.
too many brands. I would hope
Fine.
it'd be a high reputation brand, and like somebody like a professional brand. I'm not sure what that is, but
Probably Rally Road, because you wear that cap all the time.
no, this is actually boys. Pitt football in the ACC championship this week. So
There you go.
Oh man,
Logie
Yeah, like-
and Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I could see
like
that.
yeah, something like that's fine. You know what? I really love the problem is I think some of the brands that I would like to like that I think would match seem super elitist to a lot of people, and I don't want that. So like I really like Rolex, like brands like that. You know what I mean? One I really like watches, and I don't know, they're like a high value brand, and I'm not a luxury person by any way. I wear like freaking Target run pants. You know what I mean? Target would probably be my brand. Actually, I would love to be with
Logie.
Target. Target's freaking awesome. Target's super underrated.
Target's a very far place from Rolex. It's an interesting.
I feel like I can
probably
play
can't get a Rolex at Target, can you?
I don't think
can't.
so.
You can't, but it's
But-
fine.
To get us back to the NFT world, let's talk about Ross Ulbright. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Ulbricht?
Eh,
Is it Ulbricht?
Is it Ulbricht? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think so.
But he dropped his Genesis collection today, right?
Yeah, this is a super awesome thing. So if you don't know Ross Ulbricht, the Silk Road, right, that kind of kickstarts everyone's understanding and or poor takes on blockchains and Bitcoin and all that stuff comes from the Silk Road, which he helped either leading founder and or co-founder of, and unfortunately kind of the fall guy for, this particular endeavor. And this is what a lot of people think of when they think about cryptocurrencies and why they jump immediately to illegal drugs only, right? Like it's all for illegal activity, blah, 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 blah. XX or blah, blah, whatever. And unfortunately, he's kind of serving the life sentence without parole, without the opportunity for parole as a result of those things. And he is using this NFT auction and collection that he's provided here on Super Rare with the help of, I believe he said, his sister and his mom, to give funds to those who have been incarcerated or families of those that are incarcerated. So yeah, I mean, just good cause, and like a really interesting thing that 261 ETH current high bid with 6 days left in this auction.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
I hate it personally.
You hate what?
I don't know how I feel about it as well. What were you saying, Lou?
It's like it's one of those like for the wrong reasons things. Like this isn't like a good guy, right? Like we're rooting for this guy to now take the NFT boom and just make a ton of money off of it. Just, I don't know. It's not something I root for.
He's not making money here. All the
Who's
proceeds
making money from it?
The proceeds fund efforts to relieve suffering of incarcerated and their families.
So it's like anti him in a way.
Well, not really. I also think like
the charity, basically.
I mean, I don't necessarily think he's like a super bad dude and or did anything like I'm not privy to all the case details or whatever. And of course, no, like Silk Road was like not like super awesome,
right?
Activity, right? There's definitely nefarious activity on there, but
he hired a hitman. Yeah.
Okay.
It's I mean, and that's the hard part about it is like there are people who want his freedom so strongly, but he also is known to, or at least in this book that I read, let me pull up the book for you guys if you want to check it out. It's really good. It's called what was the book called? American Kingpin. I read it in like, I don't know, a week, and it's a huge book, and it was incredible, but it paints him as this guy who really did some bad things and nefarious things. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about it either.
Yeah. So of course, full transparency, I am not privy to all the details on what's going on here. So won't comment too much about him in particular. I do think, of course, any and all NFTs that are looking to benefit other people, like the case of this thing. Sorry, I was reading the comment from Chris here. Any NFTs that are like looking to potentially provide charity, I don't think there's anything bad and or awful about that in particular. Seems like based on the details you guys have provided, there is definitely some conflict here. Yeah.
I don't know really what went down. I just know what I read in the book, and that didn't paint him in the most upstanding way, but it was a very interesting book. So highly recommend that. But
yeah, and still a top, like whether or not whatever happens, still a top NFT storyline for sure.
Definitely.
261 Ethereum already.
Yeah, that's what, an $11 million bid. It's pretty crazy. Like, is it just a one of one?
I think it's 1 million.
1 million, yeah.
I think there's one. I think he added an extra.
Danny added an extra one.
I was like, wait.
I think
it's like, if 240 ETH is
I did add
$11 million. I'm like,
Lou, you are so close.
I was like, is ETH way up? Is ETH up that high?
ETH 10x real quick.
I was like, I thought we were talking about alien punks earlier, saying 2,500 was 10 ETH. So that's why I was like, okay, what did ETH do today?
Yeah, it's $1 million bid on Super Rare.
Okay. Do we know? And I don't know if this is necessarily the right to
go
talk
for
about it, but yesterday, 2 days ago now, it was Giving Tuesday was this week, and I sent a tweet out about charities in like Ethereum, and so if this one brings up, I think, that point again, where it's like, what happens in the charity world right now? Can you really donate an Ethereum? I was looking to do something like that, but I was having trouble finding just like
big Logie to the rescue.
Can you send like to just thinking out loud, American Cancer Society or something, can you send like an ETH to them as a charitable donation? I know we don't like to talk about like the tax stuff yet, but I'd assume there's some way of that, but I don't know what charities are even accepting Ethereum, and if there are, for whatever reason, any of them following and watching us right now, like I feel like there's a big opportunity if you are willing
There,
to.
yeah. I think so. I think unfortunately, like the infrastructure for a lot of these charities is not built in a way that they can possibly do it yet, right? Like you think about the way these organizations work typically, like they're probably almost government-esque in terms of their technology stack. You know what I mean? So I think unfortunately the case may be that most all of them are not adequately prepared to accept. However, there are a handful, like for example, you know, we're thinking of this at Lucky Trader, of course, and like working on some charity projects at Lucky Trader. And of course, I have a great friend, Drew Dinkmeyer, who works very closely with Charity Water. Of course, if you come from like the DFS space, like, you know, Drew, probably in his initiative, the Welly Maker, with Charity Water. And I do know for a fact, as a result of that Charity Water does accept crypto. I'm going to paste this into you, Danny, so you can throw it on the screen here in a second.
I got it.
But
Kind of what I was just saying, like the fact that that's true, I think is going to bring more people. People are going to hear that, oh, Charity Water accepts it. More people are going to donate to them, because this is that time of year where people like to donate and they like to get the tax write-off in that sense.
So of course, tax implications, of which we will have tax stuff soon, very, very soon at luckytrader.com. I can promise you that. But yeah, right here on charitywater.org/crypto, there are options. If you can scroll back up, Danny, there are options for a handful of different currencies. Made a lot of the Doge boom. Yeah, exactly. And then you just drop it in there. They'll get you a tax receipt and you're all squared away. So yeah, Charity Water, definitely very, very notable one. One that I know pretty well based through Drew, of course. And it's one of the really cool ones too, where after you give, like you are attached to those projects and then you can like see the updates on the project. So like you see the well that you helped donate to build, which is really cool. I think one of everybody's like, you know, scariness behind donating charities is like, well, I never know what they're doing with my money type thing. You know what I mean? And there's like a blockchain-esque level of transparency as it pertains to Charity Water's initiatives as well. So that's one for sure that I know of. I'm sure there's others, and probably many, many more in the future.
Well, I got to mention Jack Butcher and his incredible use of NFTs to mint a bunch and to use that to help Afghan relief back in, I don't know when exactly that was, maybe a few months ago now, but he used the platform to show that it can be for more than just profile pictures, which is an incredible use of the excitement that people feel. And it was a lot of people's first NFTs that they own was this Afghan relief NFT. So it's a pretty cool way to get into the ecosystem. I'll see if I can pull it up right here.
Yeah, I've always had that thought. So this came up. I helped one of our members in the Peter Oversight Deposit Kingdom. She sponsors children in Africa, and as part of like her marathon, raising funds to run marathons. And so I donated to that, and it had me thinking, you know how we always have the commercials where it's like, for only X dollars a day you can sponsor a child. Like, can't NFTs just be such a way to do stuff like that, where you buy the NFT and at some point you don't want to sponsor the child anymore, and you can list it for sale and someone else buys it, and that's how they have like making sure that the child is always getting paid for in that sense. I think there's a lot of ways that you could do stuff like that with charities and NFTs, which we haven't really seen anything of.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of like, this is the fun part about NFTs right now, right? Is it like there's going to be so many things. Lou, you just talked about that, like so many things that spawn
Other
off
use
that
cases.
and other ideas that like just
Like the Jack Butcher
nobody's doing yet, right? Like just people aren't doing it. And unfortunately, the craze and like the ecosystem has been generalized down. Danny, we've talked about this, to like people think that it's just stupid pictures of stuff, because a lot of it is just stupid pictures of stuff.
That's
You know what I mean? And Lou, you've mentioned this too. Like you were saying, like you wished that the good thing that, you know, like the best part about this cycle was not profile picture projects.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's your strong deterrent to entering, is like, no, I'm not spending, like, you hear NFT, you think Bored Ape, you think CryptoPunk, and then that's it. You're completely shut off. And it's like, well, no, not really. Like, yes and no. The answer is yes and no. So it'll be
That's why
awesome.
I think music is important. Like the music industry coming in, I think
Yes.
that's going to be music and gaming. I think are going to be very important because they're showing real use cases of, because right now, like you said, like people are, oh, why am I buying that? Right click save versus like, oh, I'm buying this character in a video game, or oh, like there's no middleman when I'm
royalties.
buying for the royalties
when I'm
that the
streaming a
artist is getting,
song.
Yeah, it's
just
awesome.
go straight to them.
Well, yeah, and the other thing there is, like, Danny, were you just talking about like sharing in the royalties too, right?
Yeah.
Where like you're incentivized now. It's awesome. That's like, I have shouted this so many times. So those who have listening again, like, get annoyed about this, but like that is Web3. Like that's the thing. You're realigning incentives for those participating. Like no longer are the mechanics set up so that money flows to one centralized source. You can write it in the freaking code that money goes this way, that way, like whatever, right? And so you can support people and also earn in their success, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that actually, like, I think about that right now, and like as a creator, of course people love their fans. Totally get that. I think that's a real thing for sure. I don't have like fans like that to know, right? Like
yes,
if
you
you're
do.
Lady
right here, Logie.
if you're like Lady Gaga or whatever, and you hear them say like, "Oh, I love you," but like, and I totally get that. And I think that's totally true. And they love the feeling of, people loving them and whatever. I get it totally. But now you could like really love your fans because you're showing them love by allowing them to benefit in your success, right? It's just like you're creating this really nice loop of like benefits in both directions. And so there is some really interesting stuff, like in the like the sports world, like the whole story with like Fernando Tatis, right? The contract thing, Fernando Tatis Jr., like he basically worked with an agency. I don't know exactly what they call it, consultancy agency or whatever. And basically like signed up front some of his percentage of his salary away for funds now, kind of type thing. You following me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then later, as he does well, that organization gets X percent that they agreed upon. So it's like kind of like venture capital for sports. We'll fund you now, but you owe us X percent of something later. Same sort of thing as like, I'm blanking on the name of the code company where like you don't pay, but then you just go and work for the company and then they get a percentage of your salary.
Lambda
after.
School.
Lambda School. Yeah.
I think they changed their name, but yeah.
Yeah. A whole host of like those different mechanics that right now, like you're signing on little dotted lines, like you're signing with contracts, and it's like, it's very transactional, one-timey type thing. You're gonna be able to do this with like NFTs and like smart contracts and like have things baked into here and there and like add leverage via tokens or what. I don't know. It's just gonna be freaking, it's gonna be second nature. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And awesome. I think what we might underestimate, at least I did, was when I first came into the space, was the speed at which it could occur. And yes, things are happening fast in NFTs, but the idea that we're all going to get royalties for our favorite artists is not happening today. And it might not happen tomorrow. And it might not happen in 2022, 2023, or 2025. It might be a thing in 2030, potentially, or it could happen before, right? But it's like, it's going to take time to get the normal person and for them to see the results of why they should want to do that because they're enjoying it on Spotify. It's going to take someone making money off their favorite artist, then going, like, these things take time.
I think those things, though, technologically, I don't think we're far away from it. Like, technologically, I think we can do it now. I think those things, like what you just said, making money from your favorite artist, you tell normal people that they can do that, boom. Like that makes too much sense to people, doesn't it? Like
It does,
if
but
you
it's not
told-
available today. Like I'm
But
not doing that.
right,
You're not doing that, right?
right.
So,
but it's going to be it's going to be available very soon, and because it's going to be available and there's financial incentive to make it available, it will be available soon.
yeah, and there's also financial incentive to suppress that in a way, right? By Spotify. Spotify doesn't want you making money off your favorite artists
Well,
necessarily.
that's the
or
great
they-
thing about Web3, right?
Right, of course.
Open source, baby. Let's just run it.
Yeah, of
Dude,
course.
I think
and
about those girls in that Target in Nashville. I recorded from Nashville a couple weeks ago, right? And I went at like 8 a.m. and there was a line of like 15 girls/women waiting for Taylor Swift's new album. If I could have just whispered to them, like, hey, you could earn on this as well. You know what I mean? Maybe not whisper. That would have been very weird.
Yeah.
But if I would have told them in an appropriate tone, at an appropriate decibel level, that they could earn in Taylor Swift's success, that would be great, right?
Well, I don't know if this is a segue or not, but Gary V books.
Mhm.
Is it not similar to what he did? Is Danny about to bring us? I got mine. I haven't opened them yet. I was thinking of doing an
Guys,
unboxing.
the hack is to send them to your parents' house, right? That's the hack.
Yeah. So one of the guys that are Discord, he got a message. He's like, what's this Barnes and Noble order? Oh my God, you have so many of them. When Danny gets back, Danny, what you should do is
Tell me, Lou.
make that
What should I do?
Just stack them
Oh,
right next
that's
to
a
you.
good idea. No, that's a good idea.
I mean, you have enough. How many? You have hundreds.
I have 288, but I don't have them all with me in the moment. I have 100 something, 100. We'll see.
288. I was literally on the
Make a
phone
throne.
I was on the phone with my mom before this stream, talking to her about my plan of attack with these books. And she was like, well, I can donate a couple to the high school and I can donate a couple to the local library. And I was like, just give them all away. Like, I don't care what you do with them. I don't need them. But I bought 40. I only have 48. I ain't no Danny, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I only had 48 as well. And then he called me out and said, yo, that I know you and you should get more than 48. So I listened to the man because he called me out,
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I got did you get the email yesterday from Gary V in the books? Yeah. So expectation is by the end of the year, right? Is that what it said?
4 to 6 weeks.
When will token drop happen? We're planning for the token drop to happen in the last week of December or first week of January. More instructions will come as we get closer to the drop date. And then it also said this. It said that. Are you going to add this thing that I was going to add? Sorry. The thing about you may not even need your Ethereum wallet address.
Yeah. Well, I saw that. And also
physical tokens.
Well, a little bit of alpha here. Gary V in the V Friends Discord talked about this platform, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the drop, but Token Trove, tokentrove.com. I have never used it before, but he said in the Discord, I would get familiar with tokentrove.com.
Yeah.
Wow, this is an alpha alert. John, we need like a banner for alpha.
Ember
alert.
Sword is the reason I know about this. But so are they doing this on Immutable X?
Must be.
Most
probably
of
right.
those look like Immutable
He's not
X.
gonna. You have to think about it, right? He's not gonna do 100,000 and pay gas for 100,000 tokens, right? Like that just doesn't make sense. So he's got to find a way to do it. Is Immutable X? You don't have to pay the gas. Can you break that down for us, Logie?
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher the technical, ramifications of this, but Immutable X is a layer 2. It's a roll up on ETH, correct, Lou? Am I right there? It's a layer 2.
So.
TikTok dropped there. Yeah, first layer 2 for NFTs and Ethereum. It's a scalability solution, more or less. But TikTok dropped their NFTs on. They're still dropping them, right? TikTok. I can't remember.
TikTok moments.
I think TikTok top moments, right? Yeah, TikTok.immutable.com. I actually thought the Curtis Roach TikTok drop with Well, the video. I think they're cool. They're actually like pretty nice. They're way out of
Quality
course,
wise, like they're decent quality.
they're cool. Yeah. But they're like the Curtis Roach one went for 28 ETH 2 months
Find
ago.
this NFT on tokentrove.com. Yeah, so it is possible, perhaps, that these are all dropped on Token Trove, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do. I just remember hearing from Danny. Danny said financial advice after it. Not really, he didn't. But I remember hearing from you that you had said, and I don't know where you heard this, that your expectation was like VFriends 1.5, right?
Well,
Was that a Gary quote?
Well, VFriends 1.5 is what he uses to identify them, because he's going to have VFriends 2 as the drop.
These are literally VFriends 1.5 though. Like
that's how he's viewing them and calling them.
That's
in
awesome.
the Discord. Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take VFriends like 1.105 or whatever the hell it is. Any small percentage of a Z friend. They'll take VFriends 0.5.
Right. No, but the point isn't that it's going to be 1.5 times as valuable. Just
I want
that
it
this
to be.
is series. Of course, we want it to be. This is series 1.5, and there's going to be over 100,000 tokens, and so that's going to be interesting how that's going to play out. And yeah,
Danny said these will be 1.5 times as valuable.
Absolutely not.
There's that many tokens. Are you joking?
No, I'm serious. There's 100,000 tokens.
100,000 are being dropped.
He sold 1.2 million books.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a genius, dude. Freaking genius, dude, man.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give it up for him.
I would love to see the unique holders count on his books.
I mean, you'll be able to see it on the blockchain very soon, right?
Yeah, that's true. Kind of. Well, I mean, we're not going to see like some normal people bought the books, right? So, like,
what does normal people mean?
Well, I mean, like people, non-NFT people bought the books too, I hope, for Gary's sake.
I mean, these books came out 3 years ago, didn't they?
No.
Originally?
What?
No. These books...
Isn't this from 2018, this book?
No. This is a brand new book, Big Lou. It dropped on November 30th. And the reason... So the 3 might be 3 months ago. And 3 months ago, this drop happened. Tony bought 11. Sorry, Tony. Needed 12 to participate, to have some exposure, as Lou would say. But as we come to a close, we'll have a lot of time to talk about Gary Vee and the drop. I'm sure that will be a topic of conversation as we get closer. But any final pieces of closing words or wisdom from my two fellows over here before we wrap this baby up?
Yeah, I think my only note here, a couple like little content programming notes from Lucky Trader. We dropped a guide last week, or an introduction to Solana, that Lou actually built. Lou of Colorado's here with the Colorado hat there. We'll have a guide to Phantom coming soon, probably tomorrow. Guide to Uniswap as we ramp up some DeFi content, and then we'll be back as a group, and maybe with Alex as well tomorrow at 11 a.m. to talk about the week in NFTs and all the stupid, crazy stuff that happened, like Pack selling bajillion NFTs and Gary Vee having 1 million books, and yeah. No, I don't have any alpha. It was Danny Alpha night. We let Danny hold and give the alpha.
Logan gave alpha on the Twitter Spaces.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
got to go to
for
the Twitter
crowd.
Spaces. Lou, any final pieces of closing alpha?
I think it'll be. I'm noticing, especially with this like immutable X that you just mentioned, the Nifty Gateway. Like, what was the other one that was we talked about earlier? The Shinoda was on Tezos. Noticing a lot of people using things outside of Ethereum mainnet.
Oh shit!
And it's really exciting.
Tezos on Rarible, Lou. Also,
yeah, you can sell it on Rarible. You're saying?
Yeah, well, end of December, I think. Remember, we've been talking about this, like the ARB opportunity on Rarible. It's now coming to an Ethereum chained, like primarily Ethereum chain
And
marketplace.
Ledger.
I mean, Rarible's terrible, but it's got to be good to get the Tezos stuff there.
Yeah, I think that's something that Tezos was kind of needing, that, right? A new marketplace.
Yeah, well, Hen's gone.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, like, now that we're getting more mainstream, now that price of Ethereum is going up and gas fees are going up, noticing a lot more people are moving to these other chains and trying other things out, trying to get early somewhere else. So I think that's a pretty exciting time, and something I've been watching recently.
It's a good point, and something we will be sure to note as we continue to navigate through the landscape. And I think that's all from me as well. And we'll be back on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern on Twitter, on YouTube. We're looking forward to seeing you. We're looking forward to doing this for you guys again. Thank you, John. Thank you, Raul, for being here, if you still are. Tony, as always, your comments appreciated tremendously. And we will see you all in the next episode. Peace.